Well, it turns out the Competition and Markets Authority in the United Kingdom has done their own fair bit of research into the mobile web browsers, specifically of Google Chrome and Apple's Safari. And what they have revealed is, I would put it as kind of embarrassing, I think, for Google and Apple, because they have basically determined that their mobile web browsers are very inefficient, and it turns out the government might actually need to intervene to kind of increase the competition that the mobile web browsers have. And yes, when I say the Competition and Markets Authority, this is specifically a part of the United Kingdom government. This is not a company with just a fancy sounding name. The report was posted today. This was on the official United Kingdom's government website. So this is the headline of the report that was posted today. You see that crown on the top. That is how you know it is official. It is coming straight from the United Kingdom government themselves. So this is called the Final Report into Mobile Browsers and Cloud Gaming Published. I think I'm probably reading that a little incorrectly, maybe from how it was intended. But yeah, basically they are publishing this to show kind of the results of their own research. So they say independent inquiry group finds that mobile browser markets are not working well for United Kingdom businesses and millions of mobile device users, which is holding back innovation in the UK. Yeah, off to a bit of a spicy start there. It's definitely very clear how they feel that, yeah, it's just not working for the average customer in the UK. So they say the independent inquiry group leading the Competition and Markets Authorities, or CMA, mobile browsers and cloud gaming market investigation has published its final report today. The report finds that a number of markets relating to mobile browsers are not working well for consumers and businesses, which is holding back innovation and could be limiting growth in the UK. Most concerns identified relate to Apple's policies that determine how mobile browsers work on Apple's devices, or specifically the way that we access the web on their mobile devices. So yeah, right off the bat, definitely throwing shots at Apple. They will talk about Google a little bit later on, but I do want to point out, they mentioned cloud gaming, like this investigation included both mobile browsers and cloud gaming markets. And they did actually just put like a one-sentence blurb that basically everything was cool with the cloud market investigation. So yeah, this all, the bad stuff definitely has to do with the mobile web browsers. Now they go on to say, since the inquiry group's provisional decision report, the CMA opened investigations in January, so that was just a couple months ago, into whether to designate Apple and Google as having strategic market status, or SMS, under the new digital markets competition regime. These investigations concern Apple and Google's provision of their respective mobile ecosystem services, including in the areas related to mobile browsers, which were the focus of this separate market investigation. These SMS investigations are currently ongoing and expected to conclude later this year. So it kind of seems like a lot to unpack there, but mainly I want to focus on this keyword, strategic market status, or SMS. Essentially, in the United Kingdom, this is kind of another way of referring to like a monopoly. Basically, if a company holds a very powerful and strategic position where they have a specific influence over competition, it might be a little bit different than a monopoly, because with a monopoly, they would really have no competition. In this case, with an SMS, they would have competition, but like they have certain controlling factors over that competition. It's kind of odd, but essentially the United Kingdom is saying that they are very much investigating Google and Apple as having this sort of strategic market status in the whole world of the mobile web browser market. And they kind of talk about how this really has a lot to do with specifically the iPhone and Google's phones, and how the default web browser on these devices are typically Safari and Google Chrome respectively. So really, if this investigation comes back as, yeah, these companies, Google and Apple, do have this SMS status, things could absolutely change for them. The UK government could very much intervene, and I don't know, this could very much be the start of something that happens maybe outside of the UK government. I don't know if it will just be them. So they conclude by saying the inquiry group has considered a number of potential interventions which could address the competition concerns it has identified. The final report recommends that, and this is very important, that's why I highlighted this part, if Apple and or Google are designated with SMS, then the CMA should consider imposing appropriate interventions. Yeah, essentially the government is probably definitely going to get involved. Now, these interventions include include measures which could enhance the availability of other web browsers to compete in the mobile market, of course, by offering new innovative features to consumers, as well as enabling users actively to choose their preferred mobile browser, which could drive competition. I thought that last part was pretty interesting. That to me sounds like the government could actually step in and make it, at least in the UK, so that, like, say you get a new iPhone, it ain't just gonna ship to you with Safari as the mobile web browser. You can actually pick right off the bat, do you want Chrome, do you want Opera, Firefox, Safari, what do you want? That would very much affect competition. That would very much affect, Apple and Google, their stance they have right now in the market for web browsers. This is something that I think makes sense. I mean, I don't know if intervention from the government is necessarily something that is appropriate in this circumstance. I guess we will eventually find out. But I think it is definitely clear that, yeah, these companies do have, some sort of an advantage here. If all of their devices, all of their tablets and phones are shipping with these mobile web browsers as the default option. And yes, it sounds like this is very much a problem. These web browsers, I guess, are deemed as inefficient, and they're holding back, and I guess competition is going to drive it to be better, to do better. I don't know. We will just have to wait and see what this report concludes with. Does Apple and does Google have a strategic market status?